Hello, welcome back to my Golden Year vlog, where I talk about my 26-year of life, the ups, the downs, the highs and lows, and about my sewing projects, like the one that I'm wearing right now. So last week, I went to go see Megan Thee Stallion, and for those of you who don't know, Megan is actually a huge fan of anime and a cosplayer. So when people were trying to figure out what to wear to her concert, one of the concepts was, cosplaying to her concerts. So I made this outfit. It is some fuzzy fabric. I self-drafted the top. It was actually a little bit more risque, but I added it's 2 triangle pieces to make the bra cups. And then I put in grommets up here and here and here to put a chain through, so it's like a chain bikini. And then I also had a matching pair of shorts. This is actually just a simplicity pattern. I can't remember where I put it, but it was shorts, and I just cut them a little bit shorter because it's Megan Thee Stallion, supposed to be a hot girl. And man, do I feel like a hot girl. Just looking at this in the light in the camera, I look great. And I was very adamant about making sure these chains stayed and they kept the girls in. And it was a very fun sew. I sewed it in less than 24 hours before the concert. The funny thing about this is that I'm actually going to change in 20 seconds. But the funny thing about this is I keep telling myself I am too afraid to make a bra. Terrified to make a bra. I've been wanting to make one since 2020. And then here I am making this top, and it's essentially making a bra for myself. Of course, I need some more support because my boobs are bigger than I thought they were. But I even lined this cup, and when it was too small originally, I just added another one. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I can do this. So this is just me showing off what I made. And I'm gonna go into regular clothes so I can finish the rest of this vlog. But I hope if you got to see Megan Thee Stallion, that you got to make your own clothes and that you had a good time like I did. So, transition to the next part of this video. Also, look, it's so soft. And people are like, oh my gosh, it's the summertime, aren't you hot? And I was like, no, actually, the way this fabric is designed, it's pretty breathable. I got this fabric in pink and white, and I actually got it from a Creative Reuse Center. And I got this fabric almost 3 years ago, and I said, I'm going to do something with this. I made the pink into a dress that I wore for my 22nd birthday and subsequently several times. The white I had a lot less of, but I was still able to match to make a shirt and the bikini top. And I still have a lot more left. And now that I lined this bra top, I also realized that you can pretty much make bunny ears if you add wiring to it. So this might be a little cloud bunny outfit for a future convention. So yeah, next part of the video. Alright, I'm back. So it's kind of funny that I wore that outfit and walked 1 block through downtown Atlanta, and I danced the night away, and then I went straight back to the car. And it's I don't mind wearing skimpy outfits in public, but I guess just for the sake of you too, I'm I'll put this dress on. But yeah, it was very great to see Megan Thee Stallion. I know there's a lot of controversy around her, and people are like, oh, women aren't the same as they were in the past and things like that. But I'm Megan Thee Stallion wore similar outfits to Tina Turner, and they both dance and they shake. And if you want to go even further back, there was Josephine Baker. I love Megan because she represents Black girl magic, and she represents me where I'm at in my generation. Megan, she has gone through so much as a Black woman. She's lost her parents, she's lost her grandmother, and still had to graduate college through a pandemic, experienced so much misogyny, and in all of that, she still finds joy. She loves to sing and dance. I was watching her concert, and she had a good time the whole night. And there was it was in the State Farm Arena, and there's a pit close to the stage, and you could pay to be in the Hotties Club. I did not have the funds for it, but if you're in the Hotties Club, you could like give Megan gifts. She'll sign your stuff. She'll even take your phone and take pictures with it. And she had such a good time doing that throughout the concert. Now, this is like my third ever concert going to, so I don't know how often celebrities do that. But to me, I felt it was so important, like, not just for me, but also for Megan to experience that, because the internet is a microcosm. I'm on the internet. I see a lot of terrible negative things about Megan Thee Stallion, and I know she probably sees it too because she's also on the internet. And people are saying she's not going to sell out these dates, and she's not an arena artist, and all these negative things. Like when she got shot, there's so many terrible things people said about her. But for her to go to a concert, the concert is packed out. People are paying hundreds of dollars just to get close to you. They made her signs, they gave her flowers, they gave her plushies. Like, it's so powerful to see so much love poured into a Black woman, that I didn't realize how much I need to see it. I am in a space right now where people have been pouring a lot of love into me recently. At times, I'm like, really, really confused, because at times I don't think I deserve all of the positivity that people give me sometimes. I'm like, oh no, what have I done for this? But nobody is like, kindness isn't something that you build up to. I think you should always try and be kind when you can. And when people pour into you, even if you feel empty, sometimes just hold on to it. Because very recently, as in like today, I finally had some very good news with my job and a project that I've been working very hard on. You guys will hear about it, but with Scrapland, everything that we've worked very hard for is coming into fruition. And it didn't feel like it at first. It felt like all the things that I was doing was just not being received by the universe. I've been at this job for almost 3 years. I got it right after I graduated with my MBA 3 years ago. And I was helping build something that had a foundation, but just building on top of that. And seeing that things are paying off and that people are acknowledging the work that we do and are excited for that makes me happy. I feel so fulfilled. And at this point, earlier tonight, I was like, maybe I shouldn't make my vlog. I'm healed. I'm great now. But I think I'm going to keep making these vlogs because it's important to talk about the highs and lows of my journey. I think sometimes I'll get on this camera and we'll start crying. Other times, I'll just start smiling like I am today. Because that's what my golden year is about. If you are familiar with astrology, there is the concept of the Saturn return, also known as your quarter life and midlife crisis. It's when Saturn returns to the point of the sky when you were born. And a lot of times it's a time for clarity in somebody's life, confusion around their personality and things like that. And I know that I'm at 26 and a quarter, which is usually when it begins. I think it goes to 27 and a half-ish. So there's a lot of questions that are being asked of me that I'm actually working to answer, both in work and my side hustle, in my relationship. And I'm just here for the answers. And I'm here to ask the questions too. I had a really good therapy session, and I had technically I had graduated therapy where I didn't need to go every week or every 2 weeks or even every month. But my therapist told me when you have more intense parts of your life, you can re-up on your appointments just to help coach yourself through it. So I was like, doctor, I am stressed. I need more therapy appointments. So 1 week I was like, I'm really stressed. This is what's happening. Told her what was happening. She said, okay, we'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll talk about it. 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm great. I'm euphoric. Everything's wonderful. And she said, that's great that you're great. But what we need to do to help you get through these moments is you writing out, what does it look like when you're tired, and what does it like to help you get through those moments? Because this is honestly my first time dealing with burnout with this job. And it's hard to be burnt out when you're at the top of an organization and people need you. And you don't even have the words to describe what's happening and what you need to get through this. So my therapist was like, write this out. Write it out. And I've been working on writing it out for myself, like just on a personal Jonelle level, and then also for a work level, and then for my relationship as well. Like, you know, I am deeply affected by the things that happen at work. I'm not the type of person where I can just close my laptop and leave my office and not feel what I'm feeling from work. And, you know, it comes to my home. And when I'm experiencing those things, I should be able to have the language to talk to my boyfriend about what I'm going through, and seeing, like, you know, maybe in this moment I need help from him, or maybe I just need him to leave me alone or just walk the dog. But just writing that out and looking at it and seeing if I'm comfortable with what I said, for other people to help me cope with what I'm going through. Whew. That was a lot. I just appreciate the people who have been tuning into my vlogs. Like, I looked the other day and I saw I had views and comments, and I was like, oh, people are listening to what I have to say. And that could be terrifying. And yes, I know I'm a comedian. I go on stage and I tell jokes. If you didn't know, it's because it's okay. You haven't laughed at my videos. These videos aren't meant to be funny. I've come to terms with that. I will upload some of my comedy sets to my channel when I feel comfortable. And it's like my comedy sets aren't even bad. Like, people do laugh, and people sometimes say I am one of, like, the funnier comedians when I perform. But it's a difference between, I think things are funnier in person versus on the internet. And, like, I'm trying to still figure out YouTube captions and everything when I make my videos, because some things, like, the sound quality of my comedy sets don't translate very well over video. And there are some things I say that are very based on, like, alliterations and wordplay. So you have to be able to, like, catch that when I upload my comedy. But it's been interesting to take up space in other places that's not the stage when I do comedy. It's especially like at work. Like, at work, I did not think that people cared about me that much. Like, when I said that I was upset, I was tired, frustrated, and ready to go, I didn't realize there was 5 people ready to walk out the door with me. Even though there are so many times where I have quit other jobs before and people have walked out with me, I just did not know where I was in this space. And I'm so appreciative to my community for pouring into me, giving me the space to breathe, because I was like, I just need to breathe and process. Like, what am I doing? What's going on? These are a lot of emotions to feel. And it's wonderful. I felt that at work. I felt that with my craft and comedy nights, because it's Black women and we're trying to laugh and, you know, make each other feel better. Like, I have some friends that, like, they're gonna make sure they come to craft and comedy every month, because, like, it's not just crafts, it's not just comedy, it's community. I'm so tired of the word community. I want another word. I want another word for community, because maybe sisterhood, or siblinghood, depending on, you know, how you identify. Just coming together. And, you know, all my friends are going through different things. Like, we're all trying to navigate our 20s. We're all trying to just figure out, what do we like to do, and trying to become more organized, artsy, all those things. So I'm just proud of all of my friends. I thought this was going to be a long vlog, because I usually like to yap a lot, but I'm sitting in this space of contentment right now. I do want to show one DIY project that I'm working on because I want you guys to do this project too because it involves binders, and Scrap Lanta has way too many binders. Like, we have like almost 300 binders, and if you do this thing, you get binders out of my space. So let me show you. This is a project that I started because I've been trying to figure out how do I store my patterns. So as you can see, do I have another one that's closer? No. Okay, up there, those milk crates, that's where I had my patterns, and they're like raw, just in the milk crate. And of course, if you keep pulling the binders out, the patterns out, it's gonna wear the bottom of the paper, and also it's not good. Like, once I've opened up the pattern and I cut them out and try and put it back in, it just keeps pushing out pieces, and sometimes I lose pieces. So recently somebody donated some patterns that were in like a small photo album, and it was like the size of the patterns. But I thought to myself, what if I use these binders and sheet protectors? Like, this is let me get my sorry about that. Which is good. Okay. Either I'll edit that out or I'll just keep it in for some comedic relief. So here's my ruler. Okay, so these are 3-inch binders, which we have a bunch of. And I'm gonna get my Cricut and cut out like some labels for these. What I tried to do was have a binder for each type of pattern that it was, but then I realized, like, I have several dress patterns, and originally, I can show you, like, I tried to have all my dress patterns by the number, because for me, I'm like, that's easier to organize, versus if I had it, like, by brand or by type. Well, okay, so I categorized the patterns by clothing article, and then I added, I sorted them by number. To me, that was easier than trying to do them by year, which could work because I have a lot of vintage patterns as well. But I was like, it's easier just to do it by number. So if I ever get around to putting on a spreadsheet, then I could just match it. And then because they're so thick, I can only put about 15 to 20 patterns in here. So as you can see, like, this is how it looks on the side. This one does have something that I've already cut, so I can show you what that looks like as well. And so, yeah, like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put like dresses, and I'll probably put like 8,000s. So I'll know, like, okay, when I'm looking for simplicity 85 33, I know to look in here, and then I can just like what I was thinking about doing was just either putting it back in the crates or putting it at the top of my closet, so I can just like pull. And on the inside, it's all alphabetical. So like, and it flips pretty well. So yeah. Also, this is one of my favorites. Like, I love this dress. I'm going to cut this again. And usually when I cut out a pattern, I put it in a gallon Ziploc bag. And I actually use it as like a project bag where I'll put the pieces that I cut out and fold them into this and keep up with it while I'm sewing. Only issue is sometimes it gets too much air in the sleeve. So that's something I'm still troubleshooting. I'm still new to this. But if anybody has any suggestions besides getting PDF patterns and getting a projector, I know you're watching, Veronica, but please let me know. Because, like, I do like the idea of projector sewing, and as an environmentalist, it's like, it's not a good idea. However, this room is not set up very well for projector sewing, and I don't think I'm going to be in the space for that long. Who knows? but I'm also someone who's moved 7 times in 7 years. So I'm like, paper patterns, baby. Plus you can keep cutting it out. And I really want to just get to like how the girls are in Africa, where they don't even have patterns. They just draw it. They eyeball it and draw it. So if I leave PDF patterns, that's what I mean, if I leave paper patterns, that's probably what I'll do. Just drafting it and cutting straight on the fabric. But yeah, like I said, this holds about 15 patterns. So what I've done is it's trying to do it by like each thousands. So this is a 7,001. And also, I went on a little cutting spree with some of my patterns. Like, I pre-cut some of my patterns so I don't have to worry about cutting when I finally feel like making the project. Like, I already have the pattern pieces cut out. All I have to do is just match and put on the fabric. That is a method that I highly endorse because, like, cutting can be relaxing. Especially, like, I like the process of cutting it out and then folding it and putting it back in. Like, for example, this is one that I cut out Saturday night, and I liked it because, like, I can do it while I'm watching TV, and I'm not sewing, but I'm still spending time with my boyfriend and also cutting out my patterns. So, yeah, this is it after I put it back in here. Also, I love it when I thrift a pattern and it's already cut, and they kept the sizes. Or usually, like, I try and thrift patterns where I'm, like, the biggest size. I don't have to cut the lines as much. But yeah, this is just how I did it. And then what I'm thinking about doing is also just using these sleeves for notes. Or sometimes I do have stray pattern pieces. So instead of me like being like, oh God, where's this stray pattern piece going? Like if I know it was a 700, it's a dress, and the pattern for some reason is in here, I can just stick the stray patterns in the pocket and then match it once I get the pattern envelope. So that's been my newest project. I have it took me 4 binders to just get through like 60 patterns. So luckily for me, patterns at Scrap One are only 25 cents. The sheet protectors are also 50 cents. So it'll probably be like a $20, $30 investment. But to sort all of my patterns, it's going to give me so much peace. Anyways, that's really it for me this week. Just thank you guys for taking this journey with me. Please comment like any questions you guys might have, or just positive words. You can comment negative words. Maybe I'll report you. Maybe I won't. Just, we'll see. See what happens. You might make me laugh. So y'all have a great week, and I'll talk to y'all next Monday.